bit early, so come on in, get your drink, get a comfortable seat, and we're going to start in about 5 to 6 minutes. So let me go ahead and get the chat turned on. I am streaming this to Facebook as well as YouTube. So give me just a couple of minutes and let me go ahead and get that started right now. It's too bad I can't just copy and paste this thing, but it doesn't let me do that. So okay. Enter. See if that works. All right. Yep, there we go. All righty. So in that case, we are ready. Let me just get my camera turned just a tad. And I think that's good. I think I'm in there. I have to up this thing, move everything around. I'm trying to keep it in like one position. There you go. At least my head doesn't look like it's chopped off. So come on in. Let me know if you're out there. And in the meantime, we will start in, let's see, what time is it? Oh, it's 7 o'clock. So we're going to start in about 2 minutes or so. We'll give it a few more people a chance to get on. And then actually, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself, go over a few things that are changing with Stampin' Up. And then when I get done, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm Dawn Duvall. For those that don't know me, I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And I've been with them 14 and a half years doing this craziness. And I live in Fort Myers, Florida. I'm originally from Virginia Beach. And I am streaming both to Facebook and YouTube, just to let you know. Some changes that are taking place. We'll start with that with Stampin' Up. They announced today, excuse me, they are going to discontinue our what we call the red rubber cling stamps, and that will take place probably towards the end of the year. In December, I believe they will move all of those ones that are still available to the last chance list. They will not be carried over, and any of those stamps will not be remade into a photopolymer. So if there's a stamp set that you really like that is in the red rubber, I would encourage you to get it as soon as possible, because you just never know. Pardon me. And then the other news is that, well, in addition to that one, the other part of that is that they are going to repackage our cling stamp. Excuse me 1 minute. I had a tickle in the throat. They're going to repackage our cling stamps, and they're going to be in very thin vinyl. I'm not vinyl. Well, I guess it's kind of the same plastic that we have our dies that come in. So they're going to be bigger. They're going to be, well, I wrote the measurements down. I want to say around 9 inches high and probably 5.5. I'm not sure, 6, whatever the width is. Don't hold me to that. So that will take place through, I believe towards the end of the year as well. So what the idea is that everything will be in the same size packaging, and it will have the pictures of the items on each envelope. So that's good for storing purposes because they'll go together a lot easier. However, we need to start thinking about how we're going to store those so that we can see the names of them, because they're only an eighth of an inch, whatever thick. So it's not like it's going to have the spine like we have currently. They will continue to sell our clear box, the stamp cases for what we use for the red rubber. So those will still be available. My thoughts on the storing, and I need to look. I have an old VHS or, a DVD holder that is like 5 shelves. And I don't think it's more than probably 6 inches width this way, or long, I guess, however you want to look at it. It's a good size wide, but it's the depth of it, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about getting some like crafting boxes that I can store them in. I file my stuff alphabetically. It's just easier for me. And then that way I could still thumb through them and find something rather quickly. I don't know if that's going to work because depending on how big the box is, it may not sit on the shelf. So we'll worry about that later. And then the other thing that they are doing away with is our Stampin' Write markers. And the reason is they've seen a decline in sales over the last few years since we've brought on the Stampin' Write, the blends, the Stampin' blends. So I like my markers because I like to be able to color on the red rubber. You really can't do that as well with the cling. So especially if you want to change the color. So you'll just have to mask your cling and then put it in the ink and then whatever. We can go over that at another time. So the Stampin' Write markers will be going away. So if you don't have any of those, I would highly encourage you to do those as well, because those will probably sell out pretty quick. And let's see what else is going on. I think that's it for Stampin' Up. And as far as me, if I'm offering my paper share, it closes out on the 21st. So you've got until Thursday to sign up. If you are interested and you're not receiving my email, there's 2 ways that you can get the link. One is leave a comment that you want the link, put a newsletter or put news. Or if you're interested in just getting the link to sign up for it, then just put PS for paper share link. And then I will get that to you no later than tomorrow. And my shares, it's $46. It's all the new papers in the holiday catalog. I didn't pull any from the online exclusives, but you may get one or something of that as a thank you gift. I'm not sure yet. So anyways, $46. That does include priority shipping. And the 21st of August, no later than the 22nd, because I need to get the papers ordered, get them in. Then I have to cut them. I label them with they'll be cut in 6x12 unless it comes in 6x6. And they'll be labeled with the name and the colors. And that takes a little bit of time. So make sure that you, and if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, please do so. I send them out every week and give you updates and free tutorials and all that fun stuff. So, all right. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get started at 7:06. Let me make sure my phone, hang on 1 minute. I want to make sure I'm on my Facebook page and make sure I am live. I think I'm on here somewhere. Let me find me. Where are we? Oh, there we go. Let me turn my volume down. Okay, so we are going to do 2 fun folds today, or this evening, and I think we're ready to go. So let's get started. It's going to take a little bit of time, obviously, because we're doing fun folds, and I've already pre-cut everything, so it might not take quite as well. If you have any questions along the way, I do have the chat on. I do try to monitor that. Sometimes I get involved in what I'm doing and I forget to look at it. So I will respond to you at some point. Okay. All right. So give me a minute. I'm going to flip the camera down and I need to get it positioned so that we can see everything on the tabletop. So give me just a minute. I try to do this so I don't have to do all of this, So hang on. I'm going to flip this right way so you're seeing it. And give me just a second. I want to adjust. I want to make sure y'all getting better. I wish I had the software program that I was using before because it was so much easier. This is kind of a pain in the you-know-what, but it works. It works. So until I upgrade my iPad, which I see no reason to do it because I only play games on it. I don't use it really like a computer. So I don't feel like I need to spend the money for that. So that's why I haven't moved on with the program that I was using before. So just to give y'all that information. Okay, so this is the card that we're going to be making today. This is a gatefold card, and it's got a belly band, and we're going to slide this off, and then it opens up, and it's really, look at that. Isn't that cute? So it stands like that, And then you have a little sentiment on the inside. 2 places if you want to write notes, or you could put paper here, however you want to do that. And we just fold it right back up, just like that, gatefold, and then put our belly band right on there to hold it in place. And that will fit in, it should fit, yeah, fits right into the envelope. Actually, you know what? We might have to make a bigger envelope. I didn't check that. That's my fault. We'll have to make an envelope. So I will do that next time, or I'll do a quick tutorial on making the envelopes. I just realized that this is, unless we can fold it a different way, but I don't think we can. So yeah, we'll have to create an envelope. So I will do a video and I'll attach. It's 5.5 though. So, but I think the problem is it's 5.5 by 5.25. I don't know if it's going to work, fit in the envelope. I don't think it will. Let me pull out the stuff and then I'll show you the paper that we're going to be working with. Let me just check. You know, I did not check that. So that is my fault for not checking. No, it's not going to fit in the size envelope. So we're going to have to create one. So if you have an envelope punch board, that's going to be the perfect way. Just measure and it will tell you, but I'll do a quick video and I'll put that up tomorrow. So this is what we're going to be working. This is what we're going to create. And I might need to go back and check the measurements and see if we can make it smaller. But anyways, let's make sure. Oh, I got to get my other piece out of here. I need that. And let's see. We are using the designer paper that is from the Floral Charms, which is the Charming Day stamp set. And this paper is so gorgeous. And you've seen me use this before. I'm using quite a bit of it. This is the one, we're going to use this one on the next card. You can see that one. And then here is one I think we've used. Now, we haven't done this one yet with the leaves. So I might do that because that's fall's coming up and that's kind of fallish. And then we've done that one. And let's see what else. That's the same thing. We've done this one several times. That's the same piece. That's the one we're working on today. And there's another leaf one. And then there's some scraps. So, all right. So this is an online exclusive. So you can find that in the online store. And this is the stamp set. It does have dies with it. I didn't bring those out. It does have dies that will cut this, this, and this. And it's eight my favorite cling. These are the red rubber. I love red rubber, but I like the photopolymer because I can see through them. But I really like the red rubber. Put a large envelope, 5 by 7 versus a square one. Postage will be normal. Oh, okay, thanks, Karen. All right, so 5 by 7 envelope. That's a good idea. And you don't pay any extra postage for it because it's not that heavy. All right, so, and then I'm using the Stylish Shapes dies. I'm using the small one here for the inside sentiment, okay? So there's that. Now, oh, you know what? I forgot. Oh, Lord, let's see. Do I have... I did. I forgot my, I was thinking, I know I need to have some coloring to do. Did I do it? No. Let me run back. I'll be back in just a second. Let me run and get the colors that I'm going to color. I can't believe I forgot to do that. Hang on a minute. And let me see. I'm going to do petal. All right. Give me just 1 second. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I kept thinking, I don't have any inks in here. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're good. All right, so we're going to start out with a piece of pecan. Oh my gosh. A piece of, oh my gosh, Pretty Peacock. Now I'm all flustered. Okay, so we're going to start with Pretty Peacock. And I do have my cutting blade, so let me get that out. Let me move the next card. I was thinking because I did the coloring on the next card. So I wasn't thinking I needed ink, but I do. Okay. So Let's move this up a little bit. Let me move my little pieces. These are all the pieces that I've cut, and I'll go over that with you in just a moment, okay? And this goes with that pile. Here are the measurements if you want to take a look at, wait a minute, which one is it? No, that's not this one. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's it. It's 5.5 by 11, and I'll go over these with you. All right, so we're going to cut our cardstock, which I did not cut for y'all. So it's going to be cut at 5.5 by 11. And so let's get it over here at the 5.5 mark. And we'll go ahead and pull this down and cut it. And then we're going to turn this, and we're going to, I'm really such a dork because I really need to have the ink to stamp my sentiments. I don't know what in the world I was thinking. I'm going to have to run back out. But in the meantime, we'll just do this. I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't want to do it in black. I mean, you know what? I might stamp off. Okay. All right. 5.5 by 11. We're going to score at 2 3/4. So let's get the cutting blade out of the way. 2 3/4. I don't know what I was thinking. Good Lord. 2 3/4. And then we're going to move it down to 5 inches. You'd think I was sitting here with nothing to do, right? I could have looked at my stuff and said, oh, you need to have some ink, Dawn. And then we're going to do 6 inches. And then we're going to come over and 8 1/4. All right, so 8 1/4. So you're going to score at 2 3/4, 5, 6, 8 1/4. Okay. All right. Let me move this back out of the way. I can't believe I did that. Oh, gosh, you guys, you think I don't have anything to do, right? All right. And then we're going to fold these. So we're going to fold this one in. So let me go ahead and do that and give it a good burnish. And the next one we're going to fold out. So that is this one here in the center. So we're going to fold that one back and give it a good burnish there. And then this one is going to fold back as well. Let me flip it this way. It's kind of hard to see with the dark cardstock, and my apologies. I love Pretty Peacock. I tell you, it's one of my favorite colors. All right, and then this one is going to fold back. I'm sorry, this one's going to fold in because these are our panels. Hang on a minute. This is going to go this way. That's going to go up here. See, every time I fold this, I have to stop and think, oh, wait a minute, that goes the wrong way. Okay, this one's going to fold up. So we're doing a mountain. There we go. That should work, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so it should close together. There we go. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. Can you see that? All right, so it's going to, when you open it, you're going to see, yeah, that's right. It looks like it's a little off, doesn't it? You'll see this little spot right there. Okay. All right. So we're going to use a bubble bath for the cardstock. And this is going to be cut. This is, let me see. Where is my, I know it's 11 inches. It is I think it's 1.5. No, it's 1 1/4 by 11. That's going to be our belly band. So I'm going to set that right off here because we don't need that right now. And this is where I cut for the sentiment. This is going to be for the outside sentiment. And this piece is for the outside sentiment. And that is, this one is 1 3/8 by 3 1/4. And again, you're going to cut that for whatever sentiment you're going to be using, right? Okay. And then we're going to cut 4. Hang on, we got to get them. 1, 2. Let me get the rest of them. All right, so we got 2 of these. All right, we're going to cut 4 card bases out of bubble bath, and those are 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And these are going to go here, here, and then on the front, okay? And then the inside pieces, you're going to need 2, which are 2 by 5 1/4, and they're going to go here, okay? And then you're going to have a piece that's going to go in the center, and I just got a piece of glue on it. And this one is 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. And that one I probably need to cut down. No, I think it's good. All right, so those are the cardstocks, all right? And then let's go ahead, let me pull this in so we can start gluing this stuff down with our DSP. All right, so let's move this out of the way. All right, now the designer paper, You want to make sure if it's directional that you cut it to make sure it's going in the right direction. Okay. All right. So you're going to cut 2 of the for the larger. So these pieces here are 2 2¼ by 5, and those are going to go on the front of the panel of the front of the card. And then we've got 2 smaller ones that are 2 by 5¼ and those are going to go on the inside here. Okay. And then we've got 2 pieces of basic white that are also, they should be the same. Yeah. 2 by 5¼ and those are going to go on the inside, and we're going to stamp in color, and that's going to go on the sides on the inside with this. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And then this piece of designer paper is 1/2 inch by 5. Okay, so the basic whites, I'm sorry, the basic whites are 2¼ by 5. I apologize. The 2 larger pieces of the designer paper is 2¼ by 5, and then the 2 smaller ones are 1¾ by 5. My apologies. I was giving you the wrong thing. So a lot of cutting, but it really isn't that bad. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started gluing all this stuff together. How's that? All right. So we're just going to go ahead, and it's pretty, really, once you get it all cut, it's really simple to do, right? So let's go ahead and get all of this on the card bases, on our little, so it's going to be, it's a nice card. I really like that. And I love this paper. I'm telling you what, it is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. And that is called the Floral Charms, if I'm not mistaken. Did I tell you all that? I think I did. Floral Charms, did I say? Yes, Floral Charm. And it is in the online exclusives. All right, so there's those 2 right there. And now we'll glue these 2 down. We'll get everything glued together, and then we'll attach it to the card. So we only have to do that one time, right? So let me go ahead and get the glue on here. And let me just put a little bit in the center. I always like to make sure. All right, so we want to get our, isn't this is really, really, I just love this paper. I don't often get too enamored with the paper and stuff, but this one is really gorgeous. I just love, the artists, the people that design this stuff. It just amazes me. Let me think which way is the right way. No, I think it's this way. All right, we're going to go this way. All right, so we're going to lay that right there. Let me get this up just a little bit. And I'll move this right here for now. So if you're just joining, you can copy that or screenshot it or whatever you want to do. All right, so that's those 4 pieces. So let me put these over here for just a second. Let's go ahead and do our, oh no, we got a color. So, okay, let's go ahead and put these on here. So these are going to go on the front. So we're going to close up, and this is going to go right here. And then this one is going to go right here. Okay. Oh, I just realized that this one's got more of the smaller flowers, and then this one has the bigger ones. I didn't pay attention when I was cutting it. So, hi, Mitzi. How are you? Welcome, Patty. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you're here. We're doing 2 new fun fold cards, and they're really easy. It's just you got to do a lot of cutting, but it's not a problem. All right, so we're going to put this, and this is Bubble Bath is the background. We're putting it on Pretty Peacock, and this is the designer paper from the Floral Charms. And if you haven't bought that, I would encourage you to do so. And since it has no, it doesn't have any in colors, does it? I was thinking it had the Secret C, but it does not. So anyways, but you want it anyways, even though it might not be on sale. You want to get it. I would highly encourage you to purchase that. All right, so we're going to lay this one right here. And I almost chose, at first I chose shaded spruce, but then, because I was thinking of this color here, but then when I looked at it, I thought that doesn't look so good. So I didn't do that. All right, so now we're going to do the insides. I'm going to go ahead and take the smaller ones that we just talked about, and those go on the inside next to the raised up piece, okay? And if you're just joining, I just realized when I was going over the dimensions that you're going to have to create an envelope or as Karen suggested, you could use a 5x7 envelope, mailing envelope, and you're not going to pay any additional postage. I wasn't thinking when I made this that it was not going to fit the envelope. The other one does, this one, which is a different design, and this one does not. So anyways, all right, so these are the inside pieces, and I will put the measurements up again and towards the end of the video. So if you didn't get a chance to take a picture of it, you can do so now. You know, sometimes when they have these flowers, I never know which is up and down. You know what? So that one, yeah, I think it's this way. I'm going this way. And then you just want to line up, you know, just try to make sure your pieces are lined up evenly. Okay. All right. So we've got that one. Now we're going to come in with this, and we need to have, all right, hold on. Oh, here it goes. All right. So this piece here, we're going to glue this on, and then that's going to go right in the center. Okay. So let's go ahead and add this. And if you haven't heard, Stampin' Up is doing away with our red rubber cling, which I'm sad because those are my favorite stamps. I like to color on those if I want to change the things up, but it's okay. And they're changing our packaging for our photopolymer stamps, which is going to be a lot easier to store. Those of us, if we have a lot of stamps and we have things that it sits on, then obviously we're going to have to find new storage solutions. So we'll see what happens. And my paper shares, if you haven't signed up, you've got until the 21st, or at least the morning of the 22nd. And I will send out invoices. Those will need to be paid within a 24-hour time frame. And then I will get the papers ordered so that I can get them in and get them cut and packaged, labeled, and all that fun stuff for you guys. $46. I don't remember how many sheets. They're going to be cut at 6x12. If the paper is 12x12, it's going to be cut at 6x12. If the paper comes in 6x6, then it's going to be, that's what you'll get. So don't worry about that. And then we'll get those out. I'll probably get them out, try to get them out before the end of the month. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll do our best and see. Okay. So now this is the beginning of our card, right? So you see how it opens if you're just joining. Look at that. And that cute, it stands, and then it closes up, and we're going to have a belly band. And I just realized that my little thing right here is off just a tad, but that's all right. No one's going to notice. Okay. Now these two guys, this is going to go on here, and this one's going to go on here, but we're going to stamp a little flower at the bottom. Thank goodness I do have black ink in here because I forgot. I didn't bring any ink because I colored the stuff for the other card because I didn't want y'all to sit there and watch me color. So anyways, but this will be fine. So we're going to do some coloring. It won't take long at all, actually. So let's move all this out of the way. I'm going to use my Memento ink. And if you like the red rubber, then I would highly encourage you, because as of December, they will be, whatever's left over, will be going on the last chance list. And they will not be carried over, and they're not going to carry over or create any of those stamps in photopolymer. So if you see a stamp set you really want, I encourage you to get it now, because you know people get a little crazy. And then the other notice is that Stampin' Up is going to retire their Stampin' Right markers. They've had a decline in sales, which makes sense because we're all using Stampin' Blends. So you really can't ink those up on photopolymer, but you can do masking. So you can mask part of the stamp and then just ink up what you need to ink. So there's ways that we can get around all this mess, right? Okay, so I'm using Lost Lagoon. I just grabbed in the bubble bath markers. I just grabbed these because I forgot to bring them in here. All right, I'm going to start with the dark bubble bath, and I am going to do the center, inside center, and then I'm just going to come around and do a little bit of shadowing where the artist has made a few little line things. All right, so that's the dark, and then we're going to come back in with the light. And I'm just going to color this in. And this is a pretty color. You know what? Let me use the big one because I can color a lot faster. There we go. All right. So we're going to color the leaves. And then I'm going to do Lost Lagoon. I mean, the petals. And I'm going to do Lost Lagoon for the leaves. All right. All right. So there's that. Probably should do them both at the same time, but that's all right. I'm going to make things difficult. All right. This is Dark Lagoon. And let's see. Don't forget that anything that has the in, all of our in color items are on sale this this month, 15% off. Even if a pack of paper has an in color in it, you're going to get that 15% off. So I would highly encourage you to look at what papers that you like and go ahead and get them. That's a big difference. That's a humongous, you know, that's a big savings, 15%. So keep that in mind too when you're out shopping. And you can find all of that in my online store. Okay. So I'm just going to color in the leaves just to give this piece, and you can write your message on this. I just didn't want to have two pieces of white paper sitting there blank with nothing on it when you got all these pretty flowers, right? So we're just going to color that. And then let me come over here. We're going to do the same thing with this one. This is, whoops, that's the light. This is the dark bubble bath. So we'll go ahead and get that going. And I'm going to do a little bit of shading here, and right there, and a little bit right there. All right, and then we'll come back with the light bubble, and we'll just come in and color the leaves, or the petals, I should say. I don't know why I keep saying leaves. All right. Okay, what else? Is there anything else I need to tell you all about? Let me think. I'm thinking, oh, little Miss Rosie is doing better. Tomorrow, I've made her, she's not going to be happy. She's probably going to be mad at me. She's got to get 2 shots that she didn't get when we rescued her. They don't give her all the shots they need. So she's got to go have a flu shot, an influenza shot, and then one other shot, and I don't remember what it's for. But she's not going to like that, but she's getting groomed again because she's kind of dirty. And so when we first got her, we took her in to get cleaned up, and our groomer said she didn't like the water and she didn't like the hair dryer, which is completely different than Riley, because my other dog, Riley, loved taking baths. All I have to do is say, come on, let's get in the shower and take a bath. And she'd get in there and stand right there and let you wash her down. And the hair dryer, oh my God, that dog loved the hair dryer. You would turn it on to dry your hair. She'd just come running in there and sit down and want you to blow dry her, even if she wasn't getting washed. She just loved, I'd take the dryer and just blow it around her, you know, her body and her face, and she'd be okay. And then she was happy and then run back and go lay down. This one, maybe this one will get better. I don't know. But right now, not so much. I was able, she was sitting in the bathroom when I was drying my hair, and she was sitting far enough away that I was able to hold it and blow dry her, and where it just moved her hair, and she didn't seem too freaked out about that. So that was a good thing. I was kind of pleased about that. So there might be hope for this little rescue dog after all. I tell you what, all the neighbors in the, we walk our entire complex, not entire, I should say, in our section. And neighbors will comment about when we go by. One gentleman said, man, she really is enjoying those walks. I said, yeah, I'm like power walking to keep up with her. And she was never on a leash. So I've taught her, I've got her leash trained. So that's a good thing. And she sits in the elevator. I never taught her this. I'm happy she does. When the elevator started, the first time she got on there, she just immediately sat down. I went, oh, that's a good thing. So now I always say sit, and then after she sits, so she'll know what the command is. And but she's doing good. Okay, so there's where you can write your messages or whatever it is you want to do, right? So these are going to go on the outside of the card like that on each of the end panels. So we're going to go ahead and let me get back in the camera. Not that you need to see me put a glue on, because you all know how to do that. We're going to glue this down. All right, so we'll put this right here. All right, we'll get that right on there. And aren't these gorgeous colors? Don't you just love these? Hey, Linda, how are you? Oh, saving to watch for later. That's fine. I do that with a lot of videos. I have some, I don't want to say training. I guess it is kind of some training, like social media training and some other things that I do. And sometimes I just can't watch all that stuff. So I have to just set time aside and watch all the recordings. Then I can fast forward of what I don't really want to listen to. Okay. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do, and I can't believe I didn't bring any other ink, but okay, it's fine. All right. This is the belly band. And again, this is 1.25 by 11, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that what I measured? Yeah. 1.25 by 11. All right, so this is the card. Now we do have a sentiment we're going to stamp on the inside, and I'm killing myself because I'm going to do black. I'm going to stamp off some, so give me just a minute. I've got some scratch paper. Well, actually, I got a piece right here, so we'll just use this. All right, I'm going to stamp off so it's more of a gray. Since I didn't bring my ink in, and I'm not going to get up and leave you guys again because that's just crazy. But that's sometimes, you know, when you start getting a little older, you start getting, I don't know what in the world's going on. Sometimes you get a little forgetful, right? All right, I'm going to try to stamp. Hopefully this works. I'm going to stamp off so I can get a lighter shade. I'm going to put this on the inside. This is going to say happy birthday on the front. And then this one says, can't wait to see you again soon. So I'm hoping that I can get it lined up on here, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed. It's probably why the photopolymer do such a good job. Well, it's a little high. I don't like that. So I'm going to flip it over, even though the dots are going the other direction, but that's okay. All right, we're going to try this again. So let me see if I can line it up. And let's try it one more time. I'm still doing it high. Oh, well, we're going to go with that. You know what? I really don't like that, but I'm going to put it on here. That's how it's going to go. I'm going to lightly glue it on here, and then I'm going to change it out afterwards. So just so that you can see the card. Okay. So I'm just going to put a little glue dot, and then I'll just tear this off. So that will go right here. Okay. So when they, oh, whoopsie, let me get it on if I got enough glue. Let me just put it right there. Let me let it sit for just a second. And then this one, we're going to stamp happy birthday. So let me, while that's drying a little bit, I just want you to be able to see what it looks like before I do anything else. And then this one, we're going to stamp. I got too much on there. That's way too black. Hang on a minute. I'm going to clean this. This is too black. I don't want that much black. I want it to look more gray since we've got the bubble bath. So let's try that again. All right, we're going to stamp off lightly, and then we'll put that on here. And this is the happy birthday. See if we can get this on here. There we go. See, that does look, when you stamp off, see how the difference is? It comes more of a gray color than the black. See the difference there? So that looks pretty good. All right, let's move this ink out of the way so we don't wear it. And let me move these little guys over to the cleaning section. Put this back over here. All right, now this piece really, whatever your sentiment is, you can set it up to whatever length and width that you want. Okay, so I don't think I need to tell you. I can give you the sizes, but it's really going to depend on your own sentiment. So what I did was I just had this go the length of this piece of bubble bath, and I'm putting this part in the center. So we're going to let that dry. And then the belly band, we're going to take and we're going to wrap it around. All right, so we're going to put it right like this. Let me move this down so y'all can see. And then I'm going to fold it over. You don't want to get it too tight because you want to be able to slide it off, right? So I'm going to push it like that. Now, this one page right here I realized that I did not fold it correctly because you can see it's a little bit over here and down there, but honestly, no one's going to know the difference. So I am going to put some dimensionals. Whoopsie, I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. And I did bring some. I have some here too. Let me find them. Hang on a minute. There we go. There we go. All right, so I'm going to put, because oh, you know what? I should have put this on a different color. I wasn't thinking. That wasn't very smart, was it? I should have put this on a different color because that's kind of blended right on in. But anyways, it's okay. I should have done like the pretty peacock. Actually, do I have a piece of pretty peacock? Why don't we just, oh, I've already glued it down, haven't I? Hang on. See if we can pull this off. No. All right, we'll leave it. You know what I can do? Hold on. Well, how about if we do a piece of peacock? Let's see what that looks like, because I've got a piece right here. Hold on. Let's see. That would probably, I think that would look nicer, wouldn't it? Let's do that. And we'll put the pink on top. So let me cut that. We're making a change here. We're making a change. All right, this is cut at 1 1/4. So we're going to make this at 1 1/4, and this is 11 inches. So let's just use peacock, even though it's the base card, but it will look fine once we put this little thing on it. Actually, we probably could double it up and put the peacock over the paint, or the, you know, pink over the peacock. Could do that. I could cut this down and we could double it and do like that, but let's just do the peacock. How's that? We're just going to change it up because I think the pink, I think it's not going to look right. Okay, we're going to do peacock. All right, so we're going to lay it here and we're going to fold it over. And then once you get it on there, then you can adjust it accordingly. I just want to try to make sure I get it straight. Okay, get it on there. Hold on a minute. Not that I'm a perfectionist, so you all know that, but if you are, more power to you. Okay, so I'm going to take my dimensionals, which I started to do, and I'm going to place 2 here, and I'm going to place 2 here, and I think, let me see, because I believe my sentiment is going to hang. I can actually put, let me put 2 more. I'll just put 3. I'll put 1 here, and then we'll put 1 on this side. All right. And then that way it's going to be glued to the belly band, and no one's going to see that there's a gap here, right? Because our piece is going to cover it. And we pull this one off. All right, so we're going to get this laid down, try to get it where it's even. And then I'm just going to hold it in place. And then we're just going to lay this down and try to get that so it's even. And we're going to lay that right on top like that. Yeah, I think this looks much better than the other one. There we go. So there's our sentiment, right? And so again, you'll slide this off, and it's a little bit loose, but you can go back and adjust it if you need to. So we're going to slide it off, and then they open the card, and then there you go. Isn't that cute? And then I'll switch this out. I'll restamp that so it's not sitting so high. But isn't that gorgeous? Love that paper. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So what do you think about that card? Isn't that neat? Okay, so that's a double, like a gatefold. I'm not sure, like a pop-up inside gatefold. I'm not even sure what the name of it is. But I thought that was cute. And then here's the original one, my first one that I did. And this is using a berry burst and pecan pie. I thought that looked went really well. And then there's that one. See, I do know how to stamp straight. Okay, so that's the first card. So there gives you 2 ideas. So another great way you can use up your designer series paper. So, you know, and I always say this, we have too much paper laying around, so we need to use it up. So these would be great cards to do that. All right, I'm going to set those over there out of the way for a moment. And then we're going to do another card. And let me pull that one in. Bear with me. I have to get all my supplies. They're over here. Hold on one second. Since I don't have a studio anymore, you have to bear with me. I was so fortunate to have be able to use our cousin's studio, and then he decides to leave. I said he's got his nerves, so I had to come back. Now I'm in a bedroom, and my office is out in the morning room, which I told my husband I'm going to buy a. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm going to buy a. What are those divider things you can buy? The decorative folding things, you know, that you can put in front of something and you don't want. Anyways, I'm going to put one of those because he wants to talk to me when I'm in there, and I'm going to tell him when I told him, I said I'm going to buy one of those, and when the bear, whatever you want to call it, divider is up, that means don't talk to me. So, all right. Now, all right, here's the measurements for the first card I just did. If you want to get a picture of that screenshot, let me see. Why is that not coming in the camera? Oh, there we go. It's a little slow. All right, here we go. I'll put it right here. I think you should be able to see it right there. I forget, there's about a 20-second delay. Okay, there's this for the first card. If you want to take those down, you can always try to work on a way of, here's my other dimensionals. You can work on another way of making it smaller as well. Okay, so that's the first card, measurements. I'll pull them down a little bit more so you can see them. There you go. All right, and then this is the one. This one's pretty simple. Now this one we are working with. When we purchased close to my heart, the scrapbooking company, they had moved some of that stuff in, and you've seen me use this before. So I am using, and you'll see the papers, some of the papers in just a minute. But I am using their stamp and dies. Now this is something similar. Now the ones that we're going to have are going to be a little bit narrow and taller, but this is what close to my heart have put their stamps in, with a foam piece and then your acrylic that has all the stamps. So I'm using this stamp right here for the card that we're going to be making, and then their dies, just to show you, they come in. This doesn't have anything to do with, not with Stampin' Up, but they have the dies that are these are kind of magnetic, but they're flimsy. So these are all the dies that come with this set. It's called Secret Garden. Now this was first introduced when they first merged with us, and they don't carry this anymore. And then these are the ones to cut the outlines of what you stamp. And that's what I used right here. And then we are going to use the, what are we using for this sentiments here? We're using a stamp set. I don't remember where that came from, actually. Oh, no, it's here. We're going to use Happy, Happy, Happy from this stamp set right there. So let's move this out of the way. I'm losing my mind. All right, that's the instructions. And this is the card. Now, this is another fun fold. I'm going to show you this in just a second. And I'll give you the, now I'm using Very Vanilla. These are the flowers that I stamped. I colored them with the blends and then cut them out. But here's how this card opens. Isn't that cute? Look at that. This is a card within a card. So it is like a mini note card here. And then this is a regular base card. And then we're going to add all of this on there. This does fit in the envelope because I did verify that. So you can see. So again, this is what it looks like. Pull it down. I'm trying to watch in the video so that you can see. And then when it stands up, you can see how it stands. So that's pretty clever too. This is a really easy card. They're all pretty easy. And I love this paper. I think I've used this paper with you guys a couple of times. So it's really pretty. I wish they had this. And I don't think this is available. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one sit right there. Now what I'm doing, I'm using Very Vanilla cardstock, and I'm using the paper, the exact same paper. You just flip it over, and this is what you have. You have the pink on one side, and then you have yellow on the other. So this one I did with the pink flowers, and I used the pink back of this paper here. And so I'm going to do it in yellow. So it's the same thing, but we're just going to change up the colors. Okay. And I went ahead and cut all the flowers and colored them. I didn't think y'all need to watch me color because I think you know how to do that, right? So I didn't think you needed me to do all that. Okay. So let's get started on this one. All right, so now we need a 5.5 by 8.5 card base. Let me move this over just a little bit. We're going to come in here and we're going to score. All right, I got to move this out of the way because I have to open the arm. So let me open my arm. Okay, 5.5 by 8.5. We are going to score at 2 1/8. So we're going to go 2 1/8, which is 2 less than a quarter. So we're going to score at 2 1/8, and then we're going to move that down to 4 1/4, and we're going to score that. And then we're going to move it down to 6 3/8, which is 2, it's 6 1/4, and then you go 2 over that. So it should be, all right, that's 6, 6 1/8, 6 1/4, and we're going to do right about there. That should be our 6 and no, 3/8 is, yeah, it's 3/8 is less than a half. All right, so we're going to move that over. Okay, and we're going to score. So 6 3/8. So it's score at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8. Okay. All right, so that's all we got to do with this one. So let's move this out of the way. And then we need to score the other card base for the smaller card. This is what they call, it's like a note card. So this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then you can either fold it in half. I'm going to score it at 2 3/4, which is half. So 2 3/4. I'm going to lightly score it because we want to be able to get it to bend. Okay. So we're going to score that. All right. And then the next piece we're going to need a piece of designer paper. And again, this is the back side of what I used on the other card. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And I'm going to score this at 2 5/8 just so it's going to bend, because once we put that on here, then the 2 will bend, and that's how we're going to make the front of our card. So we're going to move this down and score this at 2 5/8. So there's a half, and then we're going to move it over 2 marks. So we're going to score that real gently because we just want it enough to where it's going to fold, right? And we'll get that on there. And then the last thing we have is our papers. And we're going to have 4 of these, and they're all the same size. So they're going to be they're going to be 2 inches by 5 3/8. And you want 4 of these. So they're 2 inches by 5 3/8. And then we want another piece for the front of the note card. Again, now we're going to flip it because I'm going to show the pink side. And this is 1 inch by 5 1/4. Okay. So that's all pre-cut and everything for us. So let me move this out of the way. And then this one should be pretty easy because I've already colored everything. All right, so let's go ahead and fold. So this one's going to fold back. All right, so the 4 1/4, we want that one to fold down, right? That's what we normally do. So let's fold our card in half where we've got it. And we're going to use our bone folder. And then we're going to fold this back like that, right? And then we're going to fold this one back as well. If I can find there's my score line. I didn't push as hard on that one as I should have. All right, let me make sure I've got it even here. All right, so we're going to score that and fold it. That means fold it and give it a good squish. And then that's what the card really is going to look like. So that's going to be like that, okay? So we've got like the W, if you will. Okay, and then we have our other piece. This is the another piece of Vera Vanilla, and this is the note card. So this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and we are folding it at 2 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that now and give it a burnish so that we can make sure our edges are lined up. Whoops, see right there, it's off just a tad. All right, and then our piece of designer paper is this 4 by 5 1/4, and we scored that at 2 5/8 or fold it in half, whichever is easier for you. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and add this onto here. So it's already cut, right? So it has the border. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on so that it will stick down. When we're going to do the yellow because we want that to coordinate with our flowers. I'm just going to start this, and then we'll add our pieces. We're not going to connect this just yet until we get the other stuff put on the base of the card. Okay, so we're going to add this piece right about here, and then just shift it over to where we get our score lines lined up, and then it folds. It's going to fold together. You want to fold it again. All right, so we're going to leave that, let that sit for a minute to dry. And you may not want to squish this all the way down. It's going to hold eventually, but it's not a big deal, okay? All right, so we're going to leave that there. Now we're going to pull in our pieces. I know I'm kind of jumping from one to the other. Okay, so just check to see which way your leaves are going. These are going every which way. They're going up and down and all that mess. I'm trying to make sure I cut them to where they didn't look like they were going crazy. So I think, let's see, how's that going to look? I should have, oh yeah, I didn't cut them together because I had to cut them down. Let's see. Let's just see. We're going to lay them here for a minute, just see what they look like. And that one will probably go like that because that might line up right there. And then this one, oh, that'll work. All right, so we're going to line them up like this, okay? And then we're going to try to lay it flat, and we'll go ahead and glue these down. And there really isn't, I think it's fine. I think the paper, you can twist it around and see what looks better. You know, that one's got more leaves going that way. It really doesn't matter. So whatever you think looks good. This one, let's see what this one looks like. Now he looks like he's going upside down. And then this one, see, you can play with this all day long, right? But I think I'm going to go back with this one because I think that one matches and then this one matches right there. All right, so let's go ahead and get these adhered. All right, and there's the back of our pink paper that we used on the original card that I made. I really wish that they had brought some of this back in, right? Let me get over here. I need more room. You know what? I just need more room. I don't have enough room. I remember when I had my studio, I had lots of room. I had table space galore. Now I have hardly any, but that's okay. As long as I can craft. All right, so we're going to set this one. I'm looking. I think I like it like that. So let's lay this one right here. All right, and again, these are cut at 2 by 5 3. I think this one I did 5 1/4. It said 5 3/8 to get a little closer, but I did that on the other one and I didn't like it. So I changed my mind on that one. And I think this will be fine. Yeah, let's do it this way because these are going in the right direction. Okay. All right. We're going to, let's see, it's 5 to 8. So we're going to go over about 10 minutes. So just bear with me. And we'll get these on here. So we're going to lay that down. Make sure you line them up on the sides, top and bottom. And you can adjust your spacing. All right. And we've got them slightly, so we don't want to get in the way of the fold. Lift this one up just a tad and move it over. There we go. All right. So that one's there. And we'll put this one in there next. All right. So what do y'all think about these cards? Do you like them? Do you like the colors? I do. I think they're really pretty. Hi, Kay. How are you? And Paula, thank you for watching. All right. So this one, we're going to lay that one right about there. So we're still leaving room right there with the score line. We're refolding it. And then we'll add our last piece here. All right. And again, this is the, originally when we came with Close to My Heart, this is one of the scrapbooking kits that they had, and I bought it. And I've been using the paper. It really, that stuff, I mean, you look at those scrapbooking kits that we carry now, they have a lot of stuff for the amount of money that you're paying for it. It is well worth it. That's all I got to say, because you get a lot. All right, so I'm going to fold that over. Okay, so now we've done this one. This is our little note card piece. Now this one, we're going to put this in here because I'm going over it. And it's going to go almost edge to edge if it's laying down flat, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so I'm going to just glue this right there just to break up some of the color. Okay, so this is the back side of the yellow. And we're just going to put that on here. Break up some of that color. I'm going to just put it about 1/3 of the way down. And hopefully this reaches the sides. And I'm going to try to give it a good, like a little push right there where it's scored. Okay, where it folds. All right, so we're going to hold that down. Let's fold it over. Okay. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add and stamp. I'm doing a happy, happy, happy because, again, this is going to be a birthday card. Now, you probably won't have a lot of room to write, but you can always write on the back if you need to. So I'm using Daffodil Delight. And, again, this stamp is one that is in this package. And I use the deckled rectangle dies. I know they're retired, but it fits perfectly. So I'm just going to stamp the happy, happy, happy right here. And then we're going to apply that. I did bring yellow ink, right? We're going to attach that over here on this side, and I'm just going to kind of sort of center it, right? So we're going to do that. And then we're going to attach this card to the right side, and then I'm going to attach this to the card front because I want to lay the flowers on here, and I want to get a good idea of where I'm going to place them. So I've got these that I've cut and colored and cut. And what I'm probably going to do is, just like I did the other one, I'm going to line these up. So I'm just going to kind of place them where I think they'll look nice. And then I'm going to glue these down. So I'll do that now. And then we can attach this to the card. Then I'm going to add some others, and I'm going to tuck these under so that I have room to get them tucked under. And this piece right here is not going flat, but it's going to be popped open, so it's okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. I'm going to leave room for if I need to put something underneath of it. So I'll leave room on the next ones. So this one I'm going to have, whoops, get under there. I'm going to place this one right about here, kind of going off the card just a tad because it's going to be attached to that. And then this one, I'm going to leave it open to kind of towards the top area in case I want to tuck something in. So I'm going to kind of turn this one and hide that the stem. We'll put this one right about there. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to come down, and I'm going to leave this one a little bit open as well because I want to be able to, let's see, we'll put this one a little bit down here in the corner. Again, I want to be able to tuck some of these guys in, okay? And then we're going to pop two of these up. All right, so there's that. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to pop, let's see, I'm going to put this one under, I think. And let me think about this. Do I want it under? I think this one I'm going to lay flat. And we can probably, let's see if we can get him over. Like, this is the part that you got to sit there and go, whoa, what do I want to do? Yeah, let's do it like that. I'm going to have him going up. So that one I did not glue down. This one I'm going to glue it down, and then I'll pop up the other one on a dimensional. Whoopsie. All right, so let's do that. Let's slide him under here, and we're going to have him go over just a little bit as well because we're going to have room on the card. All right, so he's going to go there. And then this guy, I think this one I'm going to pop up on a dimensional just to give it a little bit of lift. And then I'm going to add some adhesive towards the bottom and on the stem, and that should go underneath one of these. So I'm going to lift up this guy. I'm going to put him right under here. Actually, I could put him on top, couldn't I? Let me just put him on top. I think I'll do that. Do I want to do that? Let me think. I'm talking to myself. All right, let me move. No, my dimensional is good. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put him right about here. And I've got a dimensional on him, so I think he's good. He's right on the edge. All right, so that's good. And then we have one more, and I think I'm going to pop him right here just to kind of take up a little bit of that empty space. What do y'all think? I think that looks good. So we're going to lay him in there. All right, so let's get him glued down. And I'm not putting much towards the top because I'm not sure where it's going to lay. And I don't want it, let's see, move that over just a tad. Okay, there we go. I think that looks nice. It's like a little bouquet, a bouquet. All right, so let's squish this down. All right, now what we're going to do is, this is how I do it. I lay it here. First, I'm going to open it to get an idea of where I want this to go on my card, right? So when it opens, because I don't want it to be so far away. So I'm just kind of holding the card to get an idea once it closes where I need to lay my stuff down. So you can see it's about what, maybe a not even a half an inch in, or maybe a 3/4 of an inch. I'm sorry. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I am going to I'm going to put my finger here. So I know I need to put adhesive from here over. And I'm not going to come back. I'm going to put a little bit on the edges, and then we'll come down. So that way I know it'll glue on that side. All right. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this here, and I'm going to place it where I think I want it to go. All right, and we're going to hold it down for just a second. Make sure it's straight. Let it dry for a minute. And then I can do the same thing with this one, is make sure it's straight. And again, I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to put a little bit around the outside edges here. I don't need a lot. We'll just move it like that. Move these guys in some. All right. And then we're going to fold that one over and hold that down for a second. And if you're one that has to measure, then by all means do that. But I'm eyeballing it. Now, it is a little bit lower towards the bottom than the top, but honestly, no one's going to notice that. All right, so there is our card. So you open it, comes in the envelope. Oh, look at that cute bouquet. And then you open it up and it says happy, happy, happy. And then you can write your little information there. And then if you need the back, you can always make a note to look on the back. So there is this card. Isn't this gorgeous? Aren't these gorgeous cards? Do you not love these? I love these folds. Okay, so here are the two that I made from the Secret Garden, which is retired, obviously, close to my heart. So those are these two cards, and we'll put one up like that so you can see how they stand. Let me get down here. I might have to adjust the camera. All right, there we go. So you see how it stands. Hi, Kay, how are you? All right, that's those two. And then here's the other ones that that I made that are the gatefold with the belly band. And we open that up. And again, this is one that stands like that. So you can see that one. All right, and then it looks like that. All right, so those are the cards that we made this evening. What do you think? All right, I'm glad. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching me this Tuesday evening. I greatly appreciate it. If you need anything, please let me know. And don't forget my paper shares. You need to sign up by the 21st of August. If you don't if you need the information, just leave me a comment, paper share link, and I'll send that to you. And if you haven't already joined my newsletter, please make sure you sign up for that. That information is down below as well. All right, everyone. Thank you again for spending Tuesday evening with me. I greatly appreciate it. And I believe we have Technique Friday coming up at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And that will be on Facebook and YouTube as well. So if I don't see you this week sometime, I hope to see you Friday. And have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you on Friday at 12 o'clock. All right. And that's our technique class. All right, everyone. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.